Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, this was not the video that I planned for this week, but 2020 be like that sometimes, so here we are. 2020 is really doing the most, and I'm sure I'm not the only person feeling it. I know that everybody else is too, and this, you know, everything going on this year, and you know, all of the racial injustices and coronavirus and all this stuff, police brutality, there's a lot going on, but I think the whole Chadwick Boseman thing kind of tipped me over the edge. It's just really sad, and I'm sure that if I'm feeling all the feels, I know everybody else is feeling all the feels too, so I figured I'd do a video of, I don't even know how many it's gonna be, like 10, 11, 12 self-care tips geared towards Black mental health is what we're gonna call it, I guess. I'm hoping you get something out of this. I'm also doing this for me and just kind of like a reminder for myself. Hopefully you get something out of this video, even if it's just one thing, because I know that our Black community is going through it right now. So I just kind of like compiled a list of things that I do personally, that I've heard that other people do, kind of like polled my friends, family, and been like, oh, what is helping you? What is something that you have found relief in, something that brings you joy? So we, you know, as all this grief, we need a little bit of joy. So yeah, let's hop into the tips. Okay, so number one, reading a book that is not about struggle. I know that people have been dropping their book recommendations and this, that, and the third, and I think that some of these books can be definitely great resources, but I don't think necessarily they're great resources for me personally at this point in time. Like, reading about the struggle and reading about slavery, I can't do it right now. So for me, I think reading is a great tool, it's a great escape, but right now I'm like, read something uplifting, read a romance novel, read mystery. Right now I am reading a science fiction book that is by a Black author. So the name of the book is, it's called Zosma, The Lost Children of Andromeda. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'll link it. So it is a sci-fi book by a Black author about an alien, and the main character is a Black boy and like the aliens and all this other stuff. So like, I was reading The Political Legacy of Malcolm X before. Good book, super heavy, not for right now. I didn't even finish it. I got halfway through and I was like, Malcolm, love you, but you gonna have to go over there for a hot second. So I would say read something that will uplift you and bring you some joy. So I would put down the anti-racism and the, all those, you know, the books I'm talking about. You know the books I'm talking about. I'll put them down for right now. We can get to those in a minute. If you feel comfortable with them, cool. But I would say you can still support Black authors in this time right now and read something that's not, even just reading about Black love. Like, I think we could use more Black love. So I think that would also be a great one. And I'll also link a couple of Black owned bookstores in the description bar too, so. Next one is meditation. I try not for these to sound super like cliche or whatever, but meditation for me, I think, has been a really, really useful tool in terms of starting your day. So I'll either do it, if you need to do it at the start of your day, if you need to do it before you go to sleep, so you don't go to sleep with the energy of the day still sitting on top of you. You may have taken a shower to wash off the day, but you didn't wash off the energy. So I would say meditation can be super, super helpful even right before you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning. So I'll also put down some tools, like people that I like to follow for meditation. I like Debbie Brown from Karma Bliss, so I follow her on Instagram. Dear Franny, she has a podcast. Those are just the two that I can think of off the top of my head. So those are really great resources. Meditation for me is just a way to kind of like make sure that I want to start my day off right and end the day off right as well. And I know I feel like people are like, meditate, it can be whatever you need it to be. It can be stillness, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. Like, I try not to do any less than 20 minutes, but any more than 25 minutes for me is a little bit too much. So even if it's just stillness, even if it's right when you wake up, don't check your phone, a spot in your room. Like, I have a little meditation mat over here, so I'll link that down below. I really love it. It's really added to my practice. Meditation for me has been really, really useful. Just kind of like centering yourself, gathering your thoughts, actually seeing how you feel about something. Are you stressed out? Are you not stressed out? Are you overwhelmed? Are you sad? Are you angry? What kind of like adjusting your feelings and like then seeing where to go from there with those feelings. Number 3 would be, I feel like this has been a popular thing lately, like going outside, but like going outside and like having a picnic with friends, or like getting out, going to a park and like putting out some, whether it's a blanket or a towel or anything like that. I know social distancing, but I think you can, outside is kind of like a good space that you can do that in, and just like laying your blankets out, sitting outside, but also just like having a forum. And like there have been a couple times when I've like texted my group chat and been like, I'm having a rough day today, y'all. Like I'm really having a rough day today, so like what do you guys have for me? You know what I mean? And even if you don't talk about the heaviness, even if you just sit outside and just like kiki and laugh and giggle, that can do so much for your mental state. And especially for us who are in our house, we're cooped up, going outside, hanging out with friends, of course, being safe and socially distant, getting that fresh air. So I would say going outside, making sure that you have your people around you that you really feel comfortable around and trust, I think can do wonders for your mental state. The next one, therapy. I know quite a few people who go to therapy. It can be such a useful tool. I know some people that really swear by it, and also not just therapy, but therapy with a Black therapist, I think can make all the difference, because there are just certain things that you don't have to explain, right? You don't have to explain them. You don't have to go through the ins and outs. There are just certain things that are just unspoken that they just get, right? But also some resources. I know that Talkspace and BetterHelp are 2 like virtual therapy apps, I think, that people use. I've never used them, but just kind of throwing the resources out there. So I'll also link those down below, of just resources that you can use virtual, especially in this time since people aren't doing in-person consultations. But yeah, therapy is another one. Okay, as an artist, this is for my artists out there. I know we are kind of going through it right now, whether you are dancer, actor, creative. For me, I found that creating content has been really helpful. You know, you want to use your art and content in a way that can benefit, right? To be beneficial, to benefit the people around you and the people that you love, right? So I feel like as an artist, create art. That's all I got. Cooking brings me joy. I went to the art shop down the block and I got some paint and I got some canvas, and I was like, I'm gonna pick up something that I used to really enjoy and don't really do anymore, but like have the time to do. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of writing. So normally I would do some journaling, but now I've just been really kind of into like writing scripts and plays and, you know, screenplays and things like that, which is super, super new for me, but I'm really excited and it's been really bringing me lots of joy. So to my artists out there, do something creative, because that's where we thrive and we feel most ourselves. So make something. Oh, here's a big one. Here's a big one. Muting people on Instagram and on social media in general. I have a friend who she deletes Instagram maybe once a month. She deletes it all the time. So if you need to delete the app, so I mean, if you want to delete Instagram altogether, great. If you want to delete the actual app, I say delete the app. Me personally, I do find there are things that I do like about social media, but I do think that it can be information overload sometimes. So I think certain people, if you need to hit that mute button, hit that mute button. Or if you just need to unfollow. So you may need to do a social media purge or cleanse. Unfollow, I like your energy, you could stay. Yeah, I would say either mute on social media, delete the app, block if you need to. Your energy is so sacred, and so all we need to do is be letting in that good energy, because there's so many other things out against us right now that like who really has the time? Even just limiting social media. I have a problem with that too. Sometimes I'm just like, and I remember my mom was like, why don't you just put the phone down? Like, just put the phone down. And I was like, that's absurd. Let me put the phone down. I'm gonna miss stuff. I'm gonna have political FOMO and not know what's happening next. And she's like, it's gonna be there in an hour. And I'm like, you're correct. You are correct. I think social media has its pros and cons, and I think it can also be sensory overload. It can be information overload, and it's so many things coming at you all at one time that you may just need to take a break. So I'd say, like, even if you're like, when you wake up in the morning, I'm not gonna touch the phone until, you know, 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna touch the phone until 1. I'm not gonna, whatever the case may be, do what feels comfortable for you. But sometimes for me, I mostly unfollow people or will mute them. Next one. I don't know what number I'm up to. 8, 7, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think this is 7. I think this is 7. Working out. I know it sounds super cliche, but getting your body moving, getting active, and especially because a lot of us are not really leaving the house so much, like doing at-home workout. I will also link the people down below that I like to follow. I pretty much do my own workouts, but if you can work out outside and like do 2 things at once, that would be great. But I know everybody does not live in a place where it is safe to do that. Get that blood pumping, that adrenaline pumping, and sweating out the day. Getting that, what is it? Was it from Legally Blonde? Endorphins make you happy, right? What is it? Working out makes you happy. Happy people have endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands, right? I don't know. Yeah, so work out. Next one, one of my favorites. Make a bomb playlist. Make a bomb playlist. Sometimes, let me tell you something. I have been the queen of making playlists lately on Spotify, and then I'll be like, I'll be on the phone, and I'm like, it'll be banger after banger after banger, and I'm like, who made this well thought out curated playlist? And I'm like, I did, and you're like, I have really good taste. I have really good taste. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a playlist where you're like every song back to back. Oh, right? So yeah, so I've been really into making playlists lately. I have a playlist that's called like That Playlist, which is like all the feels. I had a really dope Disney playlist. I had like a pumped up playlist. So like, make some playlists and like pat yourself on the back and be like, I feel really good today because I have music. Like, make the soundtrack to the life that you want, right? So make that soundtrack to the life you want and go about your day. And music uplifts us all, so make a playlist. Oh, watch something that will make you laugh, right? Ugh. Everybody's like, watch this, it's so powerful, it's so intense, it's so informative, and sometimes informative is nice, sometimes can be information overload. So I would say watch something that will make you laugh or that will make you smile. The heavy stuff is still gonna be there. It's still gonna be there in Netflix in a couple months. It'll still be there. It will still be on Hulu. I'm not saying that knowing your history and knowing these things are not important, but in moderation. Watch something that makes you laugh. Giving back, right? I think in the midst of all these things, I do still think it's important to sign the petitions, make the donations if you can, if you are in the financial position to do so. I think everybody has their gift, and I think as long as we're using our gifts to give back the best way that we can, I think you do what you feel capable of in that moment on that day. Like, there's some days where I'm like, I can't do anything today, and there's some days where I'm like, I'm pumped, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna make my signs, I'm gonna make these calls, I'm gonna send these emails, and that is amazing. So I think that you should, when you feel like you have the energy to do those things, then I say do those things, right? Write the emails, write the letters, vote, do your research on your public officials, right? So like, all those things are going to be helpful so that it's not a quick fix, but it is a long-term fix and shift that's definitely needed. I try not to be too specific about that, but like, give back in the best way that suits your energy level and where you're at. I'll leave it at that. Setting boundaries. This is a big one. Setting boundaries. And that can mean whatever you want. It can mean like, letting people know like, I don't have the energy for that right now, or I don't have the mental capacity for that right now. I don't have the space to let that in. Like, sometimes you're like on different levels of energy or what you can handle and what you can't handle, and I think as long as you're transparent about that, I think it'll help. So setting boundaries, whatever that means to you, and being like, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this, I hate that this makes me feel like this, so what can I do about it? So yeah, I think that, I don't know what number that was. 9, 10, I don't know. I don't know. But then a couple of like small finalists that almost made the cut. we'll add this, maybe it'll be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Making my bed in the morning, I think it's one task that you can do that is super fast that sets you up for success for the rest of the day. So I have to make my bed. Also, laying in bed, if you have the luxury to do this. I know that some people, whether you have kids or, you know, you're still working or whatever the case may be, laying in bed for like 30 minutes before you actually get up, it's a game changer. So if you have the luxury of doing that, or like maybe setting your alarm 30 minutes beforehand so that you can have that space to be like, I'm just gonna lay here and sit with my thoughts for a minute before I have to go about my day. So I've found it to be really, really nice. Getting dressed or not getting dressed. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been in my pajamas for 2 days. And that's okay. If you were like, I'm not getting dressed today. I'm not getting dressed today. That's okay. Or sometimes you're like, you know what? I haven't worn pants in a week. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna put some pants on. I'm gonna put some pants on. Me, I'm a jewelry person. I'm like, I'm gonna put these earrings on and I'm gonna look like a person today. And maybe sit outside and read a book or whatever the case may be. So either get dressed or don't get dressed. Update your vision board. Let me know if you want that video, because I've been planning on like doing like a how to quarantine proof your vision board. So if that's what you're interested in, let me know, because I think I might do it for me, so I might share it with you guys. All of our plans did not have to completely go out the window with COVID, and we are still allowed to have goals and still look to the future, because the future will still be bright, right? That was the last one. I don't know if this is 18, 19, 20, 21, 100, but yeah, I think it's really important that we prioritize Black joy, because it's important. So I kind of made this video for me, but I also hope that you got something out of it, even if it's small, even if it was just one thing on this list. So these were my self-care practices geared towards Black mental health. I really, really hope that this was useful at all. I also would love to know what you all do or are doing in this time to make sure that your mental health stays in check, because it is super important. And 2020 is not letting up on us for some reason, but we still have to take care of us. Comment down below some things that you do to secure and keep your Black mental health safe. Share this video with someone that you think would find this material useful. We're celebrating Black joy because we have to, and we have no choice. And it's really, really important that we take care of our physical body, but we also got to take care of our mental health, because a lot of this is very heavy. I'm clearly not the only person feeling it. We're all feeling it. We have to lean on each other and lean on the ones that love us and tell them that we love them. And you know, you gotta do what you gotta do for you, right? So if there's anything that I haven't thought of or I haven't done or been doing, you're like, girl, like you don't do this, comment down below. And I'm sending you all love and light, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.